Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing well. It's been a little while since this video, so apologize for that. It's been number 296 from December 3rd, 2011. This one came through at 1:30 a.m. There'll be one after that. That was fairly short. That one's the longer one. I'm going to go on to the next chapter of Revelation. And the Sarah Young Epiphany, or the Daily Affirmation book. And one thing the Lord's pointed out to me to speak about again. Okay, number 296, if you're following along on the blog. For those of you that are. Peaceful soliloquy, I speak unto you. That's a quiet aside speech. I speak unto you. With my grace I shall thus renew. That sounds like it's from Jesus. Pouring forth God's epistle to man, spreading forth across the land. No more sorrow, no more pain. Christ the Lord comes again. Be of good cheer as he draws near. It's maybe a different messenger. Be of good cheer as he draws near. Beneath the earth much does rumble, that will cause many to stumble. Be on guard, they seek to claim, those of you who seek to blame. Father in heaven, for what ails the world? Sightless fools whose eyes are swirled. So that's the devil trying to get you to place the blame on God all the time. God's not responsible for it. So be on guard. They try to influence your mind, your thinking, your thoughts. Cloudless mists blind their vision, causing them to make the wrong decision. Choices are given throughout your life, some of joy, some of strife. But they're your choices. Own up to them. He who knows all you need is the one to stop the bleed. The spiritual bleed. Take but his hand, speak but his name. Your life therein shall never be the same. Believe in me, take up your cross. Upon your heart I shall emboss the seal of heaven forever mine. All I am shall be thine. Love the Father God in heaven, live forever free of the fallen seven, and their influence. Purest joy shall fill your soul, and once again you shall be whole in heaven. Awesome, awesome. So from Psalm 51, verse 10, create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. All part of praising God. Isaiah 49:13, sing for joy, O heavens, and exalt, O earth, break forth, O mountains, into singing. The Lord has comforted his people. Mark 9:23, anything is possible if a person believes. Again, this gets into not putting limits on God. All things are possible with God, from God, by God, of God, from God. If you truly believe in God, then you believe all things are possible. Not just for yourself, but things that he's trying to teach you, that you need to learn. But if you limit him by your limited perception, which you got from limited knowledge of others, which we'll speak about when I'm done here, then you're limiting yourself. And you're limiting how God can teach you. It's like going to a classroom and God's trying to teach you, the teacher's trying to teach you, and you're busy texting, you're busy playing video games, you're busy chatting with other people behind you, goofing off, daydreaming. You're not going to learn. Pay attention. Pay attention to the right source. Number 297, also from 12/3/2011. And I never did find out what these three words I got at the beginning of it, even what language it is. I've looked. If it's angel speak or whatever, I don't know, or a very ancient language of the messenger, I don't know. It just says Bake Raki, B-A-K-K-E, repeated twice, Raki, R-A-Q-U-I. Still don't know what it means. Some language that I went through the whole list with Google Translate. Granted, that's not the best source, but it's the easiest source to research. So I'm not sure what language. Could be a dead language. Google Translate just has present languages on it, so I don't know what it meant, and the Lord hasn't enlightened me on that. It might have been a greeting of the messenger. And it's talking about we, whoever these messengers are. It says, we oft-times spoke to mankind's fate, not for anyone to know the time and date. We've passed by this way before. Who we are is lost in ancient lore. So there, I'm guessing that the speaker is a dead language, a long-lost peoples and language. We're spiritual beings. We've passed by this way before. We've oft-times spoke to mankind's fate. Who we are is lost in ancient lore. So we don't know who they are. Brother, oh brother, can't you see? We are here to set men free. Be they light, be they dark. All within hold the spark, peace of God. The attitudes were spoken upon the hill, seeking those who'd accept His will. His will. Choice is yours, has always been. Free will. Up to you who shall win, light or dark. Darkness or light, 'tis man's plight. Whither you go, your heart does know. Answer the call, take up your cross, suffer the pain, feel the loss. It means you're going to suffer that and feel that loss. Because you believe in God, follow God's path, doesn't mean you're not going to suffer. He told you that in the Bible. He's never promised that there would not be suffering. But when you follow His path, it's all for a good purpose, and you will get through it. Trials and tribulations, part of the road to the home that He bestowed. We do not wish to lose one soul. We wish to make all men whole. Take the key, unlock the door to your walls of Jericho, your inner fortresses. Be you rich, be you poor. All are welcome into the light. None are wrong. All are right. So we argue and fight and kill and hate each other because we just perceive differently. Because we are differently. Again, just like in a classroom, everybody's learning differently. Otherwise, everybody have straight, perfect scores, A's, 100s, however you score. But we're all different. We all perceive different, learn different, take in information differently. So none are wrong, all right, in some degree. No one's perfectly right, except we don't. Otherwise, we know all there is about God would be God. What you see, what you know, is unique to you. Once in the glow. Open hearts expand forever, learning all that you endeavor. So open hearts, constantly learning. That's what we're here for, to constantly learn. Again, our purpose, common purpose, is to learn and grow in God's light about God and to help others to do so. That's our main common purpose. Think of that. If we're all here to learn the same thing, we all learn differently, and we help each other learn differently. From our perspective, that might help them to better understand. So be open to others' interpretations, others' perceptions, and be open to sharing yours, not keeping it to yourself. People say, oh, they want to be in God's Jesus in the face, or throw Jesus in somebody else's face with their faith. How else are they going to help learn and grow? Maybe you'll plant some seed in them that'll start to grow later on. And they'll start, oh, maybe you'll give them a piece of the puzzle that causes their tumblers to click into place. And if they reject you because of what you share about Jesus, don't worry about it. I've been rejected so much and by most of the people in my life, family and friends and relatives, because of sharing my faith and all this information. It used to bother me. I don't care anymore. I just pray for them because I'm supposed to share it. We're all supposed to share it. If somebody denies you, rejects you because of God, because of Jesus, what's He say? Shake the dust from your feet, or their dust from your feet, from your sandals, turn your back and walk away and leave. Leave that place. Leave them to Him. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. He can deal with them better than you can. If you planted that seed, shared something we're supposed to share, maybe it was just one sentence, one word. I've been doing it for so long, it doesn't bother me anymore. It does not bother me. So everybody who reads the blog, who watches the video, because they're guided to do so. They're reading and hearing, listening to something they're supposed to. I have no control over that. Whether it's one person or a bunch of people. There's many videos no one's even watched. It doesn't matter. There will be somebody who's supposed to watch it. They'll be guided. They'll happen upon it. Remember, there's no such thing as accidental or circumstance or miracles. It's just all God's purpose. There's always a reason behind everything. Okay, that's sidetracked here. Trials and tribulations part of the road to the home that He bestowed. We do not wish to lose one soul, we wish to make all men whole. Take the key, unlock the door, be you rich, be you poor, all are welcome into the light, none are wrong, all are right. What you see, what you know, unique to you once in the glow. Open hearts expand forever, learning all that you endeavor. We are nameless, as was intended. So who they are, they weren't supposed to be known. We are nameless, as was intended. He who came never pretended. Call to him, speak his name, you shall be saved, eternal flame. I am the Father, Son, Holy Ghost. I am all the heavenly host. Love for all, my gift to you. Think of me in all you do. Cries in the night go unheeded. We in the light hear all that's pleaded. Everything is heard, whether spoken or thought. Love of man, God's greatest joy, so much so, He gave a little boy to save us all from all the darkness that swept the land, caused us to digress. Focus on the light inside. Nothing from it can ever hide. Come to me, the child within. We said, come to me as little children. Embrace the light and thereby win. We come in force, not far beyond this day. So this is 2011. They're already coming in force. There's heavenly beings that we don't know about. All before us shall join the fray. All those that are already here, including those in physical form and in spiritual form. Utter defeat shall sweep the land. Transformation, rebirth, the holy plan. Eden dwells within, without. So Eden is everywhere. It descends, have no doubt. Soon shall see its true perfection. Remember, when Jesus went up and took Peter with him, and this tent sphere came down. All the different creatures were there. Jesus was there, revealed his true form for Peter. And then it was taken back up. Same thing. Eden worked the same way. It was here, God just took it up, but it's never ceased to exist. It descends, have no doubt. Soon shall see its true perfection. Come upon most without detection. Bye for now, my longtime friend. Read over all that you have penned. Learn and grow each passing day. Blessed you are as you lay. So as I sleep. Spread the seeds, watch them grow, whither you are, whither you go. Again, all these words are just seeds I'm throwing upon the land, sown on the land. Much has happened since the start, as you continue to do your part. Peace be upon you, friend of mine. All He is, soon shall be thine. So it's a wonderful, wonderful. So there's beings out there we don't know about. So much we don't know about. If all God's knowledge was the dictionary of every word through time, what we know is like on one page. That's it. We don't know squat. John 14:27, peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Trust in him, believe in him. In the process, Psalm 136, verse 2, 23, and 26. Give thanks to the God of gods, give thanks to the Lord of lords, give thanks to the God of heaven, for his steadfast love endures forever. 1 Corinthians 2:9. No eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no mind has imagined what God has prepared for those who love him. We've got nothing to base it on. So from Hebrews 10, 23, 24, let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful. Let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds. So we're here to help others. It says so right there. James 4:8, draw near to God and he will draw near to you. So focus on him and he will focus more on you. Don't resist him, don't fight him. So that's those ones. Oops, just come apart. Oh, Sarah Young. For today, remember today is Blood Red Moon. By the time you watch this video, it will already pass. Hope is a golden cord connecting you to heaven. It's like the umbilical cord. It mentions the cord. The umbilical cord connects our soul to God all the time. This cord helps you hold your head up high, even when multiple trials are buffeting you. Hope. Hope got me through my darkest periods of my life. Never lose hope. Never stop thinking what awaits me, or who awaits me, or where awaits me around the next corner, the next day. You just don't know. I never leave your side, and I never let go of your hand. But without the cord of hope, your head may slump and your feet may shuffle as you journey uphill with me, and you may miss so much. Hope lifts your perspective from your weary feet to the glorious view you can see from the high road. You are reminded that the road we're traveling together is ultimately a highway to heaven. When you consider this radiant destination, the roughness or smoothness of the road ahead becomes much less significant, because you're not focused on it. You're focused on him. I am training you to hold in your heart a dual focus, my continual presence and the hope of heaven. Therefore, from Romans 12:12, be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Trust me, I've never been patient since my creation. He knows it. And you think, why would he, being who I am, what I am, and so many others, why would we not be perfect? Well, the devil he created, he's the early creation of God. Is he perfect? No. So from 1 Thessalonians 5:8, but since we belong to the day, let us be self-controlled, putting on faith and love as a breastplate, and the hope of salvation as a helmet. Hebrews 6:18-19. God did this, so that by two unchangeable things in which it is impossible for God to lie, we who have fled to take hold of the hope offered to us may be greatly encouraged. We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure. It enters the inner sanctuary behind the curtain, where it lies. And Jesus tore the curtain, the veil, in the holy temple. God lies in there. Where's hope? God is hope in all those things. Love and charity, mercy, forgiveness. All of God. Okay, Revelation, the next chapter. I believe it's chapter 10, I think we're on. Let me check. I think we did 10. Yeah, we did 10. You're on 11. Yes, chapter 11. I was given a reed, like a measuring rod, and was told, "Go and measure the temple of God and the altar and its worshippers. But exclude the outer court. Do not measure it, because it has been given to the Gentiles." So he has Gentiles separate from his chosen people. Why? I'm not sure. Even in this temple. But exclude the outer court. Do not measure it, because it has been given to the Gentiles. They will trample on the holy city for 42 months. So Gentiles would be Christians and non-Christians, those who are non-Hebrew, non-Jewish. They will trample on the holy city, saying they will attack. Sounds like it's going to attack the holy city, which is Jerusalem. Well, we're assuming it's Jerusalem. It could be a different holy city. We don't know. "And I will appoint my 2 witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1260 days, clothed in sackcloth." Now, 1260 days, that's just over 3 years. "They are the 2 olive trees and the 2 lampstands, and they stand before the Lord of the earth." So who these witnesses are, then up to speculation. Elijah, Jesus, Peter. If anyone tries to harm them, fire comes from their mouths and devours their enemies. So they have the power of God within them and through them, and with them. And they might be in human form, or at least appear in human form, that people would try to harm them. This is how anyone who wants to harm them must die. So, woe to anybody who tries to do that. They have power to shut up the heavens, so it will not rain during the time they are prophesying. And they have power to turn the waters into blood, and to strike the earth with every kind of plague as often as they want. So these 2 witnesses, they haven't come yet. But they're going to be someone you want to pay attention to. So if you're not going to know who they are, recognize them. If you're too busy focused on other things. "Now when they have finished their testimony," so prophesying was be talking about what's coming, what lies ahead for man. "Now when they're finished with this, the beast that comes from the abyss will attack them, and overpower and kill them." So the Lord will allow that. And the beast in the beast form, or a beast through mankind, will finally kill them. But they won't kill them, overpower or kill them until they've done what they're supposed to do. And they can't kill them, they just go back to heaven, spirit. They destroy their bodies. Big deal. "Their bodies will lie in the public square of the great city, which is figuratively called Sodom and Egypt, where also their Lord was crucified." Which is figuratively called Sodom and Egypt. Again, figuratively, or symbolically. Which is also where also the Lord was crucified, which is Jerusalem. But we're taught it was someplace else. But we're taught it was in Jerusalem. So Sodom and Egypt symbolically stand for Jerusalem. That's what he's telling us. "For 3.5 days, some from every people, tribe, language, and nation will gaze on their bodies and refuse them burial." So the people will reject messengers from God. "But after the 3.5 days, the breath of life from God entered them, and they stood on their feet, and terror struck those who saw them." So they will be brought back to life. "Then they heard a loud voice from heaven saying to them, 'Come up here.' And they went up to heaven in a cloud while their enemies looked on." So they'll be taken up directly to heaven after they're brought back to life. "At that very hour there was a severe earthquake, and 1/10 of the city collapsed. 7,000 people were killed in the earthquake, and the survivors were terrified and gave glory to the God of heaven." There was going to be a great earthquake after that time, obviously. 1/10 of the city collapsed. 7,000 people were killed in the earthquake, which isn't much for the size city it is today. The 7,000 could be different symbolic meaning. The second woe has passed. The third woe is coming soon. The seventh angel sounded his trumpet, and there were loud voices in heaven, which said, "The kingdom of the world has become the kingdom of our Lord and of his Messiah, and he will reign forever and ever." And the 24 elders who were seated on their thrones before God fell on their faces and worshipped God, saying, "We give thanks to you, Lord God Almighty, the one who is and who was, because you have taken your great power and have begun to reign. The nations were angry, and your wrath has come. The time has come for judging the dead and for rewarding your servants, the prophets, and your people who revere your name, both great and small, and for destroying those who destroy the earth." Which is going on now. Things are happening now. It's kind of like, it's not like a straight boundary. It's kind of blended. Then God's temple in heaven was opened, and within his temple was seen the ark of his covenant. And there came flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, an earthquake, and a severe hailstorm. Again, these things are coming. So we're going to have some witnesses. They may or may not be here already. If people don't listen to it. We don't know. No, it's not the Pope. No, it's not these televangelists. Again, that think use Jesus as that measuring stick. They're going to be like Jesus. Pure, humble, meek. Not showing themselves off, building themselves up. Not looking all fancy like kings. Remember, the mistake people made when Jesus was born. They were looking for, oh, this king, ah, or someone to come in the form of a royal line. He was a royal line. A lost royal line. He came quietly and humbly. Don't expect it to be all fanfare, pomp and circumstance when he rise again. Be quietly. You have, like a thief in the night, you have to be paying attention. Don't look for out there. You need to be looking in here. See him. Be aware of him. That's chapter 11. Hope I didn't do that one already. Forgive me if I did. Next time we chapter 12. Now the thing you might me to speak about again is, again, learning about God and who you are and what your purpose is and your individual specific purposes and about our general purpose. Basically learning, having a relationship with God. You can't grow in spirit and grow in light if you're learning from the wrong source. You have to focus on God one-on-one, spend that time on him. You pray and say, oh, I do spend time with God. He has to be the primary focus. Don't give a lip service. Don't go through the motions. Focus on him for your learning. Which is so easy for us to turn and look to something we can physically see, someone we can physically hear, listen to, because it's easier. That should be a warning flag right there. Focus on learning from God. People got it backwards. They go to church, they pray, they read the Bible, they read books, all these self-help books, all this other kind of spiritual books, the source, the secret, renaming things, all these other psychics and mediums and evangelists, you name it. People are going to all these things, and then as their primary source of information about God, and using prayer, talking to him, as a supplement. It should be the other way around. He should be the first one you go to, your main source. And then everything else, people, places, things, books, you name it, be supplements. And when you're learning from the perfect source, asking for that discernment, you will know what's false and what's not false from all the supplemental sources that you use. But if you're going to them first, which are imperfect and skewed and corrupted, and based through an individual's own perception, then everything he's trying to tell you, which is the only word and truth, you won't believe, or you won't understand. Learn from the perfect teacher and tutor, and then everybody else who tries to help you, teach you, you'll know if they're full of crap You will know, because if they're lying and trying to deceive you, they may be intentional, unintentional, because they think they're right, or they may be intentional. But you gotta go through him first, and expect to hear and listen and receive and see what he's trying to show you and tell you, and you will. But if you're so focused on anything else as the primary source of learning, you're never going to learn from him. You're never going to learn the truth. And there is only one truth, and it comes directly from him. Believe that he's communicating, speaking to you. When you hear it, you feel it, you sense it, you see it, believe it. He's the first one you should go to, the first one you should believe, not with your physical eyes and ears. So flip it around. You all got it backwards. People got it backwards. They go sit in the church, they read the Bible, they go do this, they read this, they listen to somebody, they watch somebody, and they may or may not pray and talk to God directly. But what I need to, I go there and listen to this, and so tells me this and that, and I hear this and I watch this, because I don't have time to pray. I've spent my time with God for the week or for the day. You need to always be cognizant, always be open and aware, because you never know when he's going to give you some information. God doesn't go by your schedule. He's supposed to go by his schedule for you. He does things at the perfect time. If you're not paying attention, hey. If you're talking on the phone or watching TV, you're not hearing the knock on the door, and there's a messenger or message. If you're not checking the mailbox, him first. Learn from him. Communicate to him. Ask for that discernment. Darkness, his word, his truth, his wisdom, his knowledge, so you will know from the supplemental sources what's false, what's not. That's important. Reverse your learning. Learn correctly. Peace of Christ. God bless.